Alright, I am back. And so, sorry about the voice. For some reason, I feel a little on the soft voice side right now. Plus, that arm in the corner there, my girlfriend's watching stuff on her computer. So, yeah. So, okay, this one is definitely meant for anyone who's curious, anyone just cuz, and for someone on Tumblr, like Nadraj J. Sorry if I butchered your name. He asked me, he said, "Hey, I'm Jewish, and I was wondering, why are you converting to Judaism, and from what? Is your girlfriend Jewish?" And, he's trying to understand my perspective, and I gave my response, and he also asked me, what prompted the switch from agnostic to Jewish thought, but what kind of got me into believing, and why. So, to make sure I answer this totally in order, I am converting from, I guess, being agnostic. I grew up in a Christian household. I tried to go to church with my neighbors, really. Did all of the kind of Christian-y things, I guess. I don't know. And I remember being about 6 or 7 and being really anxious because I could not believe in Jesus Christ. I couldn't accept that Jesus Christ was your savior. I couldn't, it feels weird. I still can't understand it. And then someone tried to explain to me the Trinity thing, and it blows my mind every time. So I'm just like, I don't even know, man. But it just never felt right. So I will definitely explain even more on that once I answer the other ones because they're a little shorter. Yes, my girlfriend is Jewish. She's just chilling over there. She's just cool like that. But no, I'm not converting for her. I had a very interesting rant. I don't know if I'd mentioned it before. No, I recorded it, but I didn't upload it. And I'll probably re-record that rant. But more or less, no, I am not. I've only known her. I've barely known her a year. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna convert for the woman. No, 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 no. Sorry, guys. No, I'm not that cool. And she, no, sorry. No. That takes some serious love, but no. I had an interest in it when I was younger, and I kind of I tried in high school, but when you're living with your family and they're definitely not accepting of it, it's very hard. So it was just horrible, and I just stopped. And then I got to college, and I've been on my own, and we have a kosher kitchen here, so I'm kind of going through the process on my own now. Okay, now these next two kind of help me explain why, not necessarily. So he said, what prompted the switch from agnostic to Jewish thought? Jewish, though, thought, I guess, something like that. But what I had a lot going on in high school and the first semester here. And, back home, I was hospitalized a couple of times for some stuff that had happened, and I was looking for support. And I was like, I really need support. I'm stressed. I got problems. I need support. And so I went to this program. It's called EA. It's Emotions Anonymous. And if you ever have any problems, totally check it out and see if you have one in your area. You should totally start one up. But, it was held, somewhere within a reasonable, I guess, range. My folks used to take me there. They weren't always happy about it. But, it's a 12-step program for dealing with your emotions. And you don't have to have some severe diagnosis to do it. You just don't. But part of the 12-step process, if anyone's ever heard of, the 12 steps for Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, there's an anonymous for everything, is about half of the steps are about not creating, but accepting a higher power as greater than yourself. And many people, because they know the roots of AA is really in Christianity, more or less, of what I've heard, at least. One of the first things they tell people when they get there is that you don't have to believe in God or in the Christian idea of God. You don't have to believe in that. If you want your higher power to be love, go for it. If you want your higher power to be the vacuum cleaner that cleans your room, go for it. Nobody needs to know. Nobody's gonna ask. Nobody cares. If you believe in human goodness, as long as it's something positive, granted, but something that's gonna help you get through. So, I guess in all that struggle, the only thing I could think of was God, and what I thought of as God, because I didn't have a really clear understanding of God growing up, because no one really sat down and talked to me about it. And through all those hard times, I mean, like, quite frankly, I didn't think I was going to live. I wasn't even supposed to graduate high school because I was going to be dead by then. It was more about creating a higher power that worked for me. And that's really big in the 12-step program, was that idea that, whatever you believe in, it's about you and that relationship. And so I was like, yeah, I don't want to follow a structured version of whatever the heck God's supposed to be. God's just God. I just accept it as my God is my God, and I don't have to explain that to anyone, quite frankly, because it's just a long, drawn-out conversation. People are like, do you have proof? And I'm like, you can't even ask that question in this debate. What? So, yeah, but I don't know. It wasn't even. I didn't feel like I had to believe in God for Judaism. And, to me, the God and Judaism are like a slight Venn diagram where they slightly overlap. But to me, the relationship between the two is not an absolute. I like Judaism because I like the tradition. I like, the very family-oriented nature of it. I like the rules. I don't mind the rules. I mean, quite frankly, I'm not gonna, and I like the whole thou shalt not really thou shalt not, but don't impose your lifestyle on someone else. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It just works for me. I like having a bit of a structure to my life, because right now I feel like my life is unruly, and I like having that idea that it gives me, it's like having a skeleton, and you have to fill it in, and you need to create everything to fill it in. You know what I'm saying? It's like you've been given a web diagram. You have all these bubbles and have all these things to connect the bubbles, but it's up to you to create your whole project. And you're just like, I don't know what to do. And then your teacher gives you a diagram, and they say, here, this will help you organize your thoughts a little better. Kind of like when they were teaching you how to write paragraphs, and they're like 5 sentences and the hamburger thing or something. Maybe that was just my school. But, it gives you a structure, just the black and white. And it's up to you to use that structure to create the lines of color and the gradients and all of the extra trimmings you want to add. That's just me. So, I like having that kind of like an outline. Learning the Sabbath rules. If anyone doesn't know what the Sabbath is, or Shabbat or Shabbos, it's more or less your day of rest from Friday night to Saturday night, because Jews work around a lunar calendar. So, or a lunar calendar? You guys work around a lunar calendar or the moon calendar?
Lunar.
Yeah, lunar calendar. Just making sure.
Lunar equals moon.
It does equal moon, doesn't it? Solar is sun. Man, I'm so tired. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, I was like, what am I thinking? So, yeah, I don't know. It's just like when you have a 7-day long week and you're in school and you're trying to work and you got bills to pay, you have debts to deal with, you have parents that are driving you crazy, you have social struggles. It's nice to literally have a 24 or 25-hour period where you literally just chill out. You just chill out, you turn off more or less all electronics, and you relax. And I like that. Oh my goodness, the Sabbath is like a Christmas that happens every week, as far as I'm concerned. So, minus the presents. And the jolly fat guy that comes down your chimney. Yeah, so more like, I'm gonna be honest, it's actually, to me, it's like being in the hospital all over again. And people assume, they're like, why would you do that? Oh my goodness, it's horrible to be in the hospital. The hospitals I was in, 2 of the 3, were pretty good. It kind of got worse as I progressed, depending on where you go. But really, it's that it's a very quiet, no real electronics to bother you, nothing to really stress you out, like, from the outside world. It's just right here, right now. You only deal with this, and it's great. So, that's just one of the things that I kind of value. And I'm really into the symbolism necessarily. Yeah, I like the symbolism. To me, I like to read and get my own interpretation. And I like to read other people's interpretations and really kind of put that all together and see what it is. To me, I see that you can build any religion how you want. I am interested in Judaism as a religion, and my understanding of God is, for me, as a spiritual thing. I'm a spiritual person, and I don't mind being a religious person. I will never turn around and say I don't believe in gay marriage, or I don't believe in abortion, or I don't believe in these things, because these things say I can't believe in. No, because I will admit that the Torah does say this, but I want to understand, you know, why. I need to understand, you know what I'm saying? You know, many people, like, I'm dealing with someone right now about being transgendered and trying to convert to Judaism or even, you know, adhering to that. And they're just like, you know, God put you in the body that you're supposed to be in. And I'm like, it's one of those things that if you've never felt this way, it's very hard to explain it to other people. You know, it's very hard to be like, you really don't understand what I'm going through right now. And some people will say, you know, yes I do, you know, you know, I'm struggling with my weight or things like that, and I'm like, it's not necessarily the same thing. Like, it's, you know, there are things you don't like about your body, that's fine, but it's not the same thing. Like, it's completely bigger than that. And so it's very hard to explain to other people. But I do accept that the Torah says this, and it is my duty to live my life how I can see it and just help people live the way that they do. So to me, it's just, I like it as a guide. I want to be involved with the Jewish people. It's just something to help fill the void in my life. And I have this really strange and hard to explain draw to it. So it feels like it's something I have to do. You know, my Tumblr name is, if you haven't noticed, New Jewish Man. Is I explained into a letter to someone who's a friend of mine that I was born a non-Jew female, and it is my journey to become the Jewish man that I know that I'm supposed to be. You know, it's just, that's how I see it, at least. That's how I feel it, at least.
You are a female goy at the moment, soon to be a Jewish male.
I don't know if you can hear her. She said female goy at the moment, soon to be a Jewish male. So
in like 5 years.
Don't say 5 years. It's really depressing.
I couldn't help it.
Yeah, she's trying to make me cry right now. But yeah, it's one of those things. I guess it's just some people believe, some people don't. It's one of those things that it just speaks to me. So I'm really trying to eliminate a lot of the stress in my life and just create a very peaceful existence, because one of my goals in life is just to be at peace. So I feel like this is going to help me be at peace. You know, it does create some conflicts right now, but I think in the long run it'll help me be at peace. So that's really kind of why, I guess, where I'm coming from, and that's the best that I really can explain it. And I really do hope that I explained it well. I'm so sorry, it's like a freaking 13-minute video, but you know, yeah, that's really, it's just my story, I guess. So really thank you for asking that question, because again, I get it a lot, and it is kind of hard to explain, but thanks. So I hope it makes sense. So yeah, and also to prove that if there are people out there who are like, you can't be religious and not be a conservative or Republican or something crazy like that, you can. I've met some very liberal religious people, and I consider myself working on becoming a more religious person. And you know, to me, it's not as black and white as it seems. Quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing as really being black or white. It's just a really, really sharp, really, really dark shade of gray and a really, really light shade of gray. So that's just my ramblings. So yeah. Again, thanks for asking that question. So I will catch you guys later.